So, skill with people. What is that all about, and how can that help you in your life, in your business, and in whatever it is that you want? Well, we know what it can do on the positive and possibly on the negative. I have to be one of the first people to admit I had really bad skills with people a number of years ago. In fact, when I first met my husband, that was probably one of my biggest personal flaws, is like, I would always offend people and it would be really bad. And the worst part is I wouldn't even know I was doing it. He's like, "Hun, I can't believe you just said that." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you shouldn't have said that, hun." So anyways, we're going to talk about it. I'm sure you've seen people that are awesome with people and negotiating contracts or just kind of finessing situations, and then you've seen people that kind of come in like a bull in a china house, and they're just knocking things over and making a hot mess. And I was definitely that person before. But let's talk about how you can get some skills with people, because since I knew this was like a big character flaw that I had to work on, especially if I wanted a business dealing with people, I put some focus into it. And so I have a book that I'm going to recommend to you. It's called Skill with People, and it's by Les Giblin. It is super thin. It's actually like maybe 20, 30, 40 pages. It's not very long. There's a lot of awesome books out there on that. Another one, Hung by the Tongue. Yes, read that several times. So we're going to talk about some things that happened recently in my life and how I applied things that I learned to help me get what I want, and how you can do the exact same thing. So, for example, right now, I just purchased a house. Yay! And we are moving. So I got movers coming on over this weekend, and we're ready to roll out. So here is the first thing that happened. You know, anytime you move, you have to like get everything switched over. Your water, your internet, your electric, all that jazz. Well, apparently I did not do it during the proper cutoff time. And so they told me like, "Oh no, we're not going to have your water on till next week." I'm like, "Oh yes, we are." Like, we need this on, right? So I put on my people skills hat. Here's how this went down. I call in, "Hey, I need some water. Yes, I'd like it on today." And we start talking. They're like, "Oh no, we can't do that till next week. That's just our policy, this, that, and the other." And I'm like, okay, a little freaking out because I got movers coming. I'm supposed to move to this house, right? And so I'm like, "Okay, no problem. I'll send you everything you need. Hey, can I talk to your manager?" She's like, "You can talk to my manager, but she is not going to help you. This is our policy." She was one of those. Have you ever talked to somebody, and let's say they were with like the federal government, or maybe they weren't with the federal government, but they were just one of those people that were like not like hugging a porcupine, like there was no love coming back? Has that ever happened to you? So we're talking, and she's like, "Okay, well, I'll give you my manager, but it's not going to help. She's not going to do anything for you." Manager gets on the phone. Manager goes, "So, ma'am, I understand that you want your water on today, and I'm sure she already explained to you that's not our policy, and we're not going to do that." And so now it was time to bust out the skill with people. And so, of course, I proceeded with very humble way of being, moving forward. "Yes, pretty please, I would really like my water on." And she's like, "Well, that's not our policy, and there's nothing we can do, and it's just how things work. You just have to get in line and wait your turn and all this and that." And I was like, "Well, you know what? You sound like you really have an awesome understanding of what's going on here. And you're great at what you do. You sound like you're a manager who understands things. A manager has great employees that work with you, and you just know how to get things done. How can we make this happen? Like, could you help me? Like, how could we make this happen?" And so after I, kind of complimented her, was very humble with her, approached her like, "Okay, you are the water, goddess that's gonna make this happen. How can we do this?" Then she's like, "Okay, give me a second." And she puts me on hold, and she comes back on and she says, "Hey, if you give me your papers in the next hour, I will get your water turned on today." Yes. I'm like, awesome. So what's the skill with people that we learned about? Well, all of us have basic human needs that we need, right? Like appreciation, understanding, getting recognition. And so I was like, well, what does this woman need, this manager at this water district who's, probably has people that are grouchy to her all the time? What does she need that I can give her that's going to help her feel better and help her, get more excited and help her feel rewarded? What gift can I give her so she can help me with what my problem is, so she can help me move forward with what I need. And so obviously complimenting her, just really kind of speaking to her in a way where she was in control, she was in charge. And because of that, obviously we were able to move forward in the way that was very beneficial to me. And so, what can you learn from this? Well, a lot of times people, when they get in a situation and they're kind of like, oh, that's not what I want, this is not how it's supposed to happen, they get really defensive or they come on really strong. And, having the brawn and having the might and trying to twist somebody's arm, that doesn't work. You want to get the bees, you got to bring out the honey, my friend. So bring out the honey, be sweet, give them something that they need, whether it's, edification, recognition. Oh man, like if I was talking to the girl and she would have pulled strings for me, hey, can I get your manager? I really want to tell your manager what an awesome job you did and how you took such great care of me. And, I'm going to be a loyal customer coming to this new area and all of that. Like, give them what they need so that they can give you what you need. Zig Ziglar had a saying that was years old, okay? And he said this: if you help other people get what they want, you can have anything you want. And you know what? That's very, very true. All right, so that's the first example. Second example that I learned in my study of people skills is, communicate with people the way they want to be talked to. And what does that mean exactly? Well, first and foremost, there's 4 different personality types. And so you got to kind of learn who it is that you're talking to, because everybody has different things that are important to them. Whether it's, they want the facts and figures and they like everything systemized, whether it's, get to the bottom line and how much money am I going to make? Whether it's, hey, how many people are we going to help? And, how can this make a difference and impact the world? Whether it's, hey, how can we have fun in the process? And who can we be friends with, right? Those are kind of like the 4 personality types, and you got to speak their language. So here's another food for thought story for you, okay? So I had this beautiful sports car. I wanted this car for so long, loved it, used it, drove it, and it was just time to move on because we're probably going to get something else. And so I needed to sell it. And so I had a gentleman that approached me about this car. And it was very strange, okay? Super analytical engineer type. And if you know engineers, what do they like? They like facts and figures. They don't want about. They don't want, it's kind of. They want, what is this to the penny? When did you get this done? What is the time? They want exact, right? They're very, very systematic. So I did my best, even though that's not my natural way of being, right? I did my best to communicate to him in the way that he wanted to be communicated with. For example, I don't know about you, but I have never done negotiations on email. Normally, if I was going to negotiate over something, I will be talking to them, right? Face to face, on the phone, maybe text message, but definitely, face to face or on the phone is going to be better, right? No, we did email negotiations. So it's a little crazy, but you got to communicate the way they want. So here in our email, I didn't talk the way I would talk, which would be like, what's up, Carl? You want this tight ride? Let me tell you what we're going to do for you, right? Like, I didn't talk to him like that. I said, hello, Carl, comma, I accept your offer to purchase this vehicle at that said price. And like, I talked his language, right? Like, that's not my language. I don't talk like that, but I talked his language. And because of that, we were able to come to terms. He got a beautiful ride. I got to sell my car. Everything's good to go. So learn to communicate in a way that your prospect wants to hear it. If you have somebody and they like the facts and figures and you're like a wild and crazy out there kind of person, tone it down. Try not to push them. Slide them the facts and figures. Let them think about it. And then when they're ready to come to their conclusion on their own time, they will come back to you and tell you how they're ready to move forward. Okay. Now, maybe you are the facts and figures person and you have like this wild and crazy prospect and you know that they would be so awesome in your business, but you're like, oh my gosh, they're a little nuts. They're out there, but they got tons of friends and major connections. You got to spunk it up a little bit. Okay. Spike your drink, do something fun. Okay. You got to try and communicate the way that they talk so that you guys will have a stronger connection and everyone can get what they want. So those are the 2 major tips from these stories is number 1, if you want something, help them get what they want. You can have anything you want. You want to attract the bees, put out the honey and not the brawn. Okay. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is communicate with your prospect or whoever you're negotiating with or whatever you want out of the deal. Communicate with the other party the way that helps them, suits them, make it all about them. If you can make it all about them, you will totally get what you want out of the deal. Now, here is another skill with people that I have learned over this past year, and it's been amazing. And what is that? That is using social media as a way to build the business. Okay, we're out there, we're doing network marketing. Certainly we can contact people that we have on our list. We can prospect. We can do all the things that it takes, but things get really sweet when you have people reaching out to you. When you are, let's say, about to go take a trip, and you're in Hawaii, or you're in Cozumel, or you're doing something fun, you're doing something that you want to do, and you look down at your phone, and you have ding, 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 all these prospects who have inboxed you wanting to know more about what you have. That is pretty hot, my friend. So if that's a skill that you would like to learn more about, then I have something that will help you add that to your repertoire. If you click on the link that's listed here in the description, it is going to give you my social media blueprint. This is something that will help lay the foundation so you kind of understand how this whole attraction marketing, social media marketing, how that whole thing works, and how you can put it to benefit for you. And, obviously working with some people in your organization, people in your team as well. So click on the link, get that. It's my free gift to you. If this was something that added some value to you, feel free to pass it along to your team, because goodness, the more people skills that we can have in our profession, the better it helps us, our organization, and anything that comes from it, not to mention our family and everything else that we do. So guys, drop a comment. So great to spend some time with you all. Take care, be blessed, and I will see you all next time. For more great training and to receive your free MP3 download on how to attract prospects using social media, the 4 essential elements to attracting prospects, visit summergeronimo.com.